The agenda today is to show what's new in BI 4.3 and SPIS 3, and specifically the data mode. So we are going to see how with N4V plus Webi we can do a great self-service BI tool with Bobji. So Grégory?
Yep. Okay, my turn. So SAP is committed to continue to invest into the on-premise BI suite. So I used to share this information in every presentation I'm making. You're right. Even if you hear a lot about SAP Analytics Cloud, which is a strategic solution for SAP in the analytics, SAP is committed to continue to invest into what you are using today into the SAP Business Objects BI suite. And the 4.3 is a proof that we did that. SAP will continue, and what I'm going to share with you all today in terms of innovations and future direction, we continue to prove that this sentence is true. So why Business Objects 4.3? Next slide, please. When we released this version, it was almost 3 years ago, almost 4, we had 3 primary objectives. The first one was to rejuvenate and modernize the user experience, being for the end user or the power user. Second objective was to simplify as much as we can everything we can do for the IT in terms of easiness regarding the deployment, auditing, etc., etc. And last but not least, this is hybrid. Everything we can do to help you reuse your investment in SAP Business Objects, but with SAP Analytics Cloud. Next slide. In terms of user experience, for those who are new to the BI 4.3, we propose brand new interface for the BI Launchpad first, but also for web intelligence, being a casual user, a consumer, or a designer. I would like to be clear here on this first objective, which is part of the BI 4.3. Even if the interfaces are new, behind the scene, everything remains exactly the same. So only the interfaces are new, but the backend, the services, the security, the authentication, it remains exactly the same. And same thing for web intelligence documents. All the web documents you are creating that you are using today in production within the BI 4.2, they remain valid, they remain exactly the same in BI 4.3, but inside a new interface, a new experience for all of you. Next one. Enterprise readiness. This is all the cumulative enhancements we have delivered in order to simplify your life being part of the IT department. This concerns the installation and deployment, some additional security enhancement, additional capabilities in the area of auditing in order to better track what your end users are doing with your platform, etc., etc. And the last one, the hybrid. I mentioned it already. This is the ability to reuse your past investment in business objects. This concerns, of course, the business object universes, and to be precise, all your relational universes being created, being of type UNV, .UNV or .UNX, but relational. And a new concept you introduce as part of the BI 4.3, the Web Intelligence Data Model, which is everything you have created inside the Webi document, all the queries that you have synchronized, all the objects, measures, and variables. You can reuse all these things, but with SAP Analytics Cloud in order to create new dashboard inside this new technology. Okay, this was the 3 primary objectives with the BI 4.3, and we did continue to innovate with the 4.3 Service Pack 1, 4.3 Service Pack 2, and last December 2022, we delivered the BI 4.3 Service Pack 3, and we had again 3 objectives. Objective number 3, I will start by the last one. We did everything we can to simplify the life of the business users, the power users, the people who are creating reports. This concerns, for example, capabilities such as Pixel Perfect that we support now, new chart as a tray chart, justification inside the cell, or guides to ease the block positioning, Objective number 2 was to extend the possibility by introducing the support of new type of drive. For example, we support as part of Service Pack 3 not only Microsoft OneDrive but also Google Drive. So if you are using this kind of drive, you can store and use the information, store this kind of drive to create information, but also to export information into this kind of drive. And we introduce the support of OData. Since the Service Pack 2, Service Pack 3 is additional capabilities in this area, everything you have created in a Webi document can be exported as an OData flow and reused into third-party tools that can read an OData flow. And first objective, and this will be the reason of this session, we introduce a strong and new capability directly into Web Intelligence in the area of data. We introduce a brand new data mode in order to allow you to do data preparation, data transformation, data synchronization for all your end users. Why did we do that? Because we think, and we really think, and experience, and even your experience show it, when you want to create true analytics, true business intelligence, you have first to make sure that your data are valid and correspond to your business. You have to make sure that you have the correct data in order to create your BI. And to achieve that, sometimes, and most of the time, you have to create multiple queries and combine them to create a unified data set that you can use to create your analytics. And the brand new capability introduced as part of the Web Intelligence data mode is what we propose to all of you starting BI 4.3 Service Pack 3. Next slide. And that's what I'm going to demo to all of you right now. The demo will follow the following use case. We would like to analyze the sales of electrical vehicles in some states of the United States. And to achieve that, we have put our hands on several data sets that we are storing into a Google Drive. We have 5 data files. Some of them have 500,000 lines in a Google Drive, and you're going to access them, query them, and create a unified data set, so one table. And from this one table, you will be able to create tremendous visualization by using the Need4Viz widget. This being said, let's start. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so let's log in. So this is my BI 4.3 Service Pack 3 demo system. And we're going to start. So I've already created a Webi document with the 5 data sets which are stored into a Google Drive. I'm not going to show it to you because this is not really interesting. Just to let you know, this is my 5 data set, one table by data set. And to combine all these 5 data sets, we're going to enter the new data mode in Web Intelligence. To do that, you just have to reach the drop-down list of capabilities here, and below reading mode, design mode, and structure mode, you have the new data mode. So let me explain to all of you what the data mode consists on. We have 3 areas. The first one on the left, represented by this panel, is the list of objects that we have coming from the different queries. The queries are represented at the bottom of the screen here, because it's the data flow that you can maximize. Data flow represents each result, each microcube resulting of the query based on the dataset. So I'm using 5 datasets. Some of them are Excel 5, some of them are TXT 5, stored into Google Drive. I've built 1 query per dataset, and I get 1 cube per dataset. That's the second area. And the first area is the preview or view mode. Every time I'm selecting a dataset or a cube here, I will be able to preview all my data. So that's the purpose of the first screen at the top here. I can maximize it. I can browse in my data, view all of them, and explore my data in table mode. But if I want, I can explore by columns. And in columns, I will represent my data. Every occurrence of my column will appear with a count represent of how many rows do I have for which data in this column, for example. And I can really explore my data, sort them from the most important one to the less important one, just to get a clue on how my data are structured and built. And moreover, it helps me to identify redundancies that I would like to fix or things that I would like to change in my data set. For example, in my use case here, I know that primary official county name here, this column that I've just selected, is the primary key for this cube. So what I want this primary key to be in uppercase. Guess what? In preview mode, in this area, I can start to do basic transformation. And for this, we will not have to learn the formula language of Webi. We propose you basic transformation by clicking on the three dots here. You can do sort, descending, ascending, transform in uppercase, lowercase, replace data, trim, so cut the data, or fill the data with something else, and group your data set. What I want to do is to transform everything in this primary key in uppercase. Just one click. Done. Uppercase. Just to let you know, also, because this is important, every time you apply a transformation on a column, on a dimension into this data mode, you can track and review your transformation. That's the reason why on the panel, every time you transform something, you have this icon that will appear next to the dimension being transformed here. That's the meaning of this small icon next to primary official county name. If you want to see what kind of transformation you have applied in this column, just click on the tool here to display one additional panel, which is a properties panel for this column. In this case, you will be able to not only change the type of the dimension if you want, so this is really true transformation and transform a dimension into a detail or a measure, or if you want, change the type of the dimension by switching from string to numeric, decimal, or date time type. But also, if you click on here, FX, which lists the transformation, you will see listed here all the transformation being applied on this specific dimension. So you get it. Here in this data mode, I can do data exploration, review my data, transformation, list them, and etc., etc. So let's move on. For the demo, I know that for this Florida electrical vehicle, the primary key is county. So I would like to do additional things. I would like to turn it in uppercase also. I would like to explore because I know that there is some mismatch in these things. For example, Dade is wrong, has to be transformed, has to be replaced. I'm going to replace Dade by Miami-Dade. There we go. Second thing I have to clean is these two rows, two elements with 116 rows and 11 rows. Gasdin is the right string. Here, this one has to be replaced as well. So let's transform it. Okay, and the last one is island rovers and islands. I want to replace island rovers with islands. And here we go. So we have Oregon electric vehicles. So all the details regarding how many vehicles has been sold by type. Same thing for North Carolina. And we have geographic information for Oregon and North Carolina. And here again, I know that official step name, my primary official conti name here is a primary key. I have to transform it in uppercase as well. So now that I've clean and prepare my data, I'm going to use the last part, the bottom part of the data mode in order to synchronize my data and merge my data. This is a capability that already exists in Web Intelligence. We call this merge dimension. This is still available in Web Intelligence, but we wanted to improve this experience thanks to this new data mode. So now you can link your dataset 2 by 2. So how do you achieve that? You select 2 datasets and you click on this icon here, combine. And you click on combine, a pop-up dialog box will appear. You have to choose the type of combine you would like to achieve. Today in SP3, we propose 2 operators, left join or right join, depending of the sense of your dataset, right? You can see I can invert, it will be a left or right. And append. Append means that I take the data of the second dataset and I add the data to the first dataset. Here, this is a left join. And if I do a left join, I have to identify the key, and the key is based on conti for the first one and primary official conti name for the second one. Okay, primary key is identified, create. Done. Not only it has been created, it has opened the dataset as a virtual cube. I can have an overview of what we have created. And here on the right panel, a new cube with the list of all the objects is available. And from there, if I want, I can do additional transformation, right? Everything I did at the beginning remained possible. So I move on. I have Oregon electrical vehicle and North Carolina electrical vehicle. I would like to combine both, not by joining, by creating an append, which is just the sum of the 2 cubes. So here, all the columns correspond, create, bang, I have a virtual cube with 13 columns and the sum of all the rows. Now that I have a unique file for North Carolina and Oregon electrical vehicles, I would like to add geographical information for these 2 states. So guess what? That's the purpose of this dataset, Geo, Oregon, North Carolina. So I will select it, Control select the second virtual cube created and combine. In this case, this is really a left join, and the key will be based on the zip code. Here we go, add, in the sense, create. So now I have Oregon, North Carolina, the virtual cube, enriched with all the geographical information that I have at my disposal in this data cube, right? This concerns latitude, longitude for additional city name, etc., etc. So I'm almost done, right? As you can see, it's really easy to combine the dataset 2 by 2 and to preview all of them. Now, last step, I have the 2 last virtual cube, and I would like to combine them in 1 cube, the final one. I select them and I click on combine. This is not a left join, this is an append. I have to make sure that every column will have a correspondence, so zip code corresponds to zip code. I'm adding this here. This measure corresponds to this one, add. Conti corresponds to primary official conti name, add. Vehicle name corresponds to vehicle model, add. And I think the technology corresponds to vehicle category. And that's it. Close, create, and that's it. And here we go. The final cube has been created, and the final cube here contains all the data nicely combined from the 5 original datasets coming from the 5 original data sources here. Just to make things even more obvious, I'm going to rename the final dataset because I can edit. I will call this final cube. Update. And here we go. And this final cube is available, of course, in my list of cube. Okay, so as you can see, it becomes now really easy to combine different kind of data sources into web engines and to build a clean, transform, and prepare data set that you can use to start to build your analytics, your business intelligence document, or let's say differently, to create business information that will answer all your questions. Now that you have this final cube, guess what? You can share it, and in different way. First of all, this option on main view has a purpose. This gives you what you will get when you will switch to the design mode. And in all cube, every time you have created a virtual cube represented by the John icon or Appen icon, for example, I select the final cube here, you can export this final cube as an OData flow web service that you can reuse in third-party application if you want. And last but not least, now that I have a final cube which is clean and ready to be analyzed, I can switch back to the design mode. And guess what? In the design mode, I don't have the complexity of the 5 initial dataset. I just see the final cube here that I can use, that I can share with my users as part of the Webi document, and they can build their own analytics from this final cube. And guess what? From there, Jérôme is going to show you what you can achieve with all the Need4V's widget in terms of visualization based on this final cube. Thanks for your attention. Jérôme, it's up to you now.
Thank you, Grégory, for this demo and to build the data that I will be able to use in my demo. I propose before to start and to show to give you a short presentation of who is Need4V and what we bring to the table in Webi. So, Mike, can you help us on that?
Oh, 100%. Thank you. And Grégory, thank you for that amazing presentation of the updates in data mode. That was just really enlightening. And I'm really excited today to talk to you a little bit about N4V for Webi and how we can help you just basically supercharge your data and extend the lifecycle of your Bobjet account. And with that, I'd love to get presented with the next slide of this presentation. Great. Now, just in a few words, Need4Viz is an innovative company driving the BI industry forward. Now, as an SAP Analytics Solutions partner, now we are experts in data distribution as well as visualization in the business object world. Our N4V solution enables you really to create and distribute interactive, modern, and very powerful reports and dashboards inside and outside of Webi. Now, N4V is a solution that's specifically dedicated to the SAP Webi, and that is the #1 BI community worldwide. And what we do is as you can see here, we're utilized across many different industries across the world. Very useful, regardless of the industry. We can help really supercharge your data. We offer, and we do that by offering you a 4-in-1 solution. We work within graphical components, provide you data visualization to really allow your reports to stand out. We allow you to work within maps and plans. We offer you a robust data analyzer that's really going to allow you to really make your report instead about numbers, but a story that you're looking to present. But more importantly, we allow you to export that interactive component, those reports, via HTML exports. Now, what we do is we increase the Webi experience. We provide a good experience and we make it better. And we do that through a different litany of ways. One, through a data analyzer, as I mentioned before. What it does, it allows you to turn your reports not into just numbers, but into an interactive story that allows you to control the narrative as you're reporting it, as you can see here. very easy to be able to go from different points to points with just a couple of clicks of a button while staying on the same interactive component. So there's no jumping back and forth through different reports. Very useful, very interactive, but not only that, allows you to tell the story that you're looking to convey with that report. I can't say enough about this data analyzer. It's revolutionizing the way in which you're going to be able to report your numbers. And then over here, dashboarding. As you can see here, we allow you to make eye-popping dashboards that are going to turn just basically static numbers into a very illustrated report that allows you to convey what you're looking to do, like with the data analyzer. We can allow you to be able to create dashboards that combine different components, whether they be maps, different charts, or heat maps, or different charts over here, as you can see with the bar graph. It just provides just more usefulness. And over here, allows you for interactive and exploration. Here, as you can see here, you can just explore different numbers with just a couple of clicks of the button. Normally, you'd have to go to different reports where people can get lost in the weeds. Here, do it right through a very easy to use interactive reports. And what Jerome's going to show you here is very easy to create. You can create these type of reports in minutes instead of hours. And what you have to ask yourself is, what would hours mean to your development team? This is something that we're going to help revolutionize your workflow. Very easy to use through different navigations. Just go from different data sets to data sets with just a simple click of a button. That before would probably have to cause you to go to in between different reports. This is just going to create a lot of fluidity when you're presenting your reports through N4V for Webi. We're going to help you make your reports come alive through this very useful and interactive components, as you can see here. And then not only that, we allow you to work within geo-mapping. As you can see here, we allow you to take a country and bring it down to a state level through the selection type of data that we were able to create. But not only that, you can be able to drill down into a county level, to be able to compare to county with staying on the same report. But more importantly, we allow you to go from state to state with just a simple click of the button through this very easy to use interactive component that allows you to show the different counties within a specific state, drill it down, and be able to show the data that you're looking for in just seconds instead of having to fumble around from report to report. And most importantly, we allow you to share this data through these interactive components through HCL exports, so that you can share it through different mobile uses for both online and offline use cases. And we just basically supercharge the Webi experience. We allow you to revolutionize the way in which you're able to show and distribute your reports. We offer, not only that, we're going to offer you over 50 different interactive components. We are going to offer you a type of reporting solution that's going to, or chart that's going to be conducive to what you're looking to convey. Not only that, be able to use online mapping. Google Maps, we work within it for heat maps, OpenStreetMaps as well, to allow you to be able to see geographical representations that you're going to be showing with your data that you're looking to present. Not only that, more importantly, we make the unavailable available by allowing you to import your own type of maps. Any type of points of interest, whether they be airports, airplanes, boats, buildings, factories, hospital, we make the unknown known within our mapping capabilities. But more importantly, I'd love to just extrapolate a little bit more on exporting HTML. Not only can you export your interactive components to different tablets and smartphones, you can be able to share it on SharePoints, FTP sites, HTML to be able to use for intra or internet capabilities. But more importantly, we take that useful component data and be able to allow you to have interactive capability in offline PowerPoint presentations. It's a game changer. But more importantly, we give you the ability to play around with our data for those who want to be able to take a look at it at our website, need4viz.com. Just go to our live demo site and click on it. And from there, you'll be able to play around with our different interactive capability reports for you to kind of get an idea of what we bring to the table. And of course, we work in both 4.2 and 4.3 business packs. And with this, I'd like to get the second part of my Need for Viz's presentation to our co-founder, Jérôme Maillard, who's going to take the data that Grégory created and show you how we can make it interactive, beautiful reports that are going to supercharge your Webi reporting. With that, Jérôme.
Thanks, Mike, for this beautiful presentation of what we can offer and what we can add to Webi, which will become a super Webi reporter. So I'm going to share my screen and show you a demo of what we can do when we integrate our widget into a Webi report. So I'm going to share. Okay. So you should be able to see my screen. Can you confirm?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, great. So what we are going to do is to use the data that were prepared by Grégory in the first step of this webinar, and we are going to show you what we can do when we integrate some widgets. So here on the left, you can see that we have some lists, and those lists are used to filter the Webi report, but it's directly integrated into the Webi report. So it's much more easy to use than an input control, for example. So what we can do is to see that we have 241 pages, so it means a lot of data. So what we are going to do is to select, to start, some brand here to show you what we can do when we use our component. So I'm going to select US brand, Lincoln, up, and Lincoln, for example. Okay, up, and I'm going to apply. And up, you can see that the Webi filter was filtered, and that was really easy for a user to understand how we can apply a filter on the data. Now, what I propose is to use one of our component that is going to simplify the user experience. And why? Because we are going to use a Webi N4V table, and in this N4V table, you can do a lot of data manipulation. So let's select this one, HTML filter tables. Okay. Okay. So the data are inserted. I'm going to increase the size. And now I have the data. I'm going to customize my component because we have many options depending on the component that we are selecting. So what I want to do here is to apply some toolbar. For example, I'm going to add a toolbar. I'm going to page my table. So selection list, and I'm going to select this list. I'm going also to add some filters. So I'm going to create a free zone for the first column, checkbox list, for example, for the second one, single selection for this one, multi-selection for this one, for the up, and this one too. And I'm going to add a calculation and add the calculation at the bottom of each page for the sum. So for here and in the footer, I am going to add table footer. So I used the options that are available in my filter table, and now you can see that I have something really different in terms of design, and we are going to see how we can use that to filter the data and to make what we could call self-service BI. Okay. Seems okay. I'm going to come back here. So what we can do here is, for example, play here and remove Chrysler. Okay, I'm going to apply. Okay, now I can, just by clicking here, apply a filter on California, on Florida, sorry. Here, I'm able to select, for example, Chevrolet. Okay. I think there is something wrong with my... Okay. I'm going to come back here. Okay, it's better. And select for 2020. And that's it. Okay. Okay. So here I was able to use the filter table and to filter the data and to have the possibility, the capability of paginating the table. So I have all the data in the same report, and it's really easier for a user to get the information and to browse the information and to filter it. Now, what I propose is to come back to the design mode, to switch back to our Webi table. Okay. And to zoom, because I don't know what's happening. Okay. And here I'm going to go to that table. And what we can see here is a race bar in which we can analyze the data in the time, of course. And the idea is here is to get the top 5 brands that are selling EV in Florida, for example, North Carolina or Oregon, that are the state that we are analyzing. Okay, so I can see that it's BMW, Nissan, Porsche, Tesla, and Volvo who are the top 5. So I'm going to get back to my data analysis here and select. So I can do a reset here. I'm going to have all the data. Now I'm going to select BMW and Nissan. Okay. Nissan here. Porsche, Tesla, and Volvo. Okay. Apply filter. Okay. Now, what I want to do is to use another component, another N4V component, which is going to help me to analyze the data. So I'm going to use the one that is named Data Analyzer. Up. And now I have my data in this component. Okay. So I can select the information that I want to put into the component. It's not the year is not a measure, and I'm going to apply. Now, what I can, now I see that I have all the data that are directly available in this component, and I can see that I can change on the fly the dimension if I want them to be in rows or column. So if I want the model year in column, then I just have to drag and drop, and it is available in the order I want. I can switch the state, for example, and what's important for me, the state, the county, or I can put the vehicle, the model, okay? And just by clicking, you can see that you have the information that are ordered like you want. So it's really interesting feature to be able to do that. Now, what I want to do is to make a calculation on the rate of EV, electric vehicle, compared to the population. So what I'm going to do is to create a formula, because we have our own formula. So I'm going to create the ratio EV population, okay? And here I'm going to copy and paste the formula that you can create. You can create all the formula you want, and I apply, and now I have this information. We can see 0 because it's something near from 0, but we have the number formatting, and I'm going to say that it's a percentage. So it's going to change the data, of course. And I can also add more than 2 decimal. I can put 3, and then I will have something more precise. Okay, so if I do that, now I see the percentage, and of course, in 2016, it's not too much, and when I go to 2020, then I have a percentage that is increasing. Okay, now I can also just by a right click remove a measure, and now my data are ordered in another, are displayed without the measure I don't need. If I want, I can remove the decimal here and it's recalculated. What is important here also is to the fact that you can filter on the fly. So if you want to remove some data because they are quite like 0, so I can remove this here to better focus on the 3 last years where I have more EV deployed in the US. And in the meantime, I can also have a chart on the right or on the left where I want, and it's interactive. It means if I click here, it's also display here the place where I clicked. So I can have the same data, and what's interesting also is that I can change on the fly the kind of measure I want to compare. So if I'm in percentage, I have less difference than when I'm in absolute values. Another thing is that you can use this component to simulate the data. So if you want, for example, to change the number of vehicles that was sold in for Model 3 in Florida, in that county for this year, I can just change the data. So it will recalculate on the fly with the new data. So you can see that it changed a lot here. And it allows you to make some simulation. It can be really interesting when you are on finance and when you want to simulate the data. Of course, it is not written anywhere. It's just for simulation. So it's just in the session on which you are that the data are changed, but they are not written written back to the database or in another place. Okay. So I propose now to show you another kind of chart that is a relation chart. And here I'm going to use another chart, which is the double Sankey. So here, for the record, you can see all the more than 50 widgets that we add into Webi. So it becomes really a data visualization tool. Okay, here I just have an information that I need to have a measure here. Okay, so I'm going to put it, and now my element is available. So I just have to resize it, and here, what's the ID here? I'm going just to change few options. So in measure 1, I don't need any decimals, and it's units. And in measure 2, it's percentage. So I'm going to add the unit. Okay. So now I have all the numbers with the right unit. And I can also change the kind of color with the palette. Okay, in global here, I can select my Webi palette that will be applied to my component, and it's valid for all the N4V component. So you can define your own chart palette, and you can apply it in all the components. And after that, we can export that to HTML. Okay. And I'm going to copy and paste the information. Okay. Webi .html. Okay. And apply. Okay. And I'm going to open a new window. And here it is. And if I change, for example, the palette color, okay, it will be applied now. And if I refresh here, you see the change directly in the HTML, which is generated each time there is a transformation, as long as you select the option. Okay, just I see that the time is going too fast. So I'm just going to show you some mapping capabilities. So if I click on Florida here, for example, okay, let's switch to design mode to reading mode. Going to switch to Florida. Okay. Okay. And the Florida here. And here I have the map of the Florida. I can switch to full screen. Can click here and compare the values for different county. Okay. And here I have the data. I have some range, and I can click on the legend to display or not some ranges. Another feature really interesting is the fact that you can also have the data table view. So you can copy and paste, copy the data and paste to Excel, for example, to keep the data in another tool, or if you need it. Okay, I'm going back there. And here you can see a component in which you can draw what you want, what you need, the image that you want to add. And for example, here, if I want to compare between North Carolina and Oregon, I can just hide Florida because there are many EV cars in Florida. So just by doing that, I can get the information. Okay. And last, the Geo Online. So it's based on OpenStreetMap. And with OpenStreetMap here, I can select, for example, the state Florida, and I'm able to, I'm really connected to OpenStreet. I can see the data that for this city. So if I click here and I select Dillon, I think no, it's something. One county here, one city, up. It will automatically focus on the city and the data that I have in this city. So I was a little bit too long. I'm going to give back the speaker to Mike, and thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Jérôme. That was an amazing presentation on being able to create the Webi reports basically within inside 15 minutes, 3 different reports. And then that's going to really save customers a lot of development time and to really repurpose those resources for something that can help them be more productive. And with that, I'd like to be able just to show a quick example of Jérôme's creation. We just did the HTML export right now into a PowerPoint slide. As you can see here, it has full interactive capabilities. It's not static like other providers out there would have. We actually allow you to have the full capabilities within the components. So you can just go to specific data sets that you're looking to do within this component, and voila, it's there for your PowerPoint presentation. Absolutely amazing. And the great thing about what we bring to the table with N4V for Webi within BobG is that it's a win-win solution. Data and users are already ready. Basically, there's no certifying the data because it doesn't leave the BobG environment. The governance is there, so you don't have to redo the IS security or authorization. It's a proven solution, very easy user adoption, so there's no change management. For plug and play, there's no code. No code, no parameterizations. We provide fully integrated need for viz elements, and of course, using Webi as a dashboard. And we're suitable for all types of environments, whether you're utilizing Windows or Linux, or you're using cloud or on-premise solutions. And great thing about what we do is we save you time and money, where other providers take you at least 2 full business quarters, 2 full business cycles or 2 years to go live. With us, we can get you up and running within 2 quarters at the most. So we're going to get you up and running to get that return on investment so you can start creating these great interactive reports that we're going to require very little development time. And the great thing about what we're going to do, we're going to give you 4 major releases each year. For this year, as you can see here, the different components that we've come out with, we're going to provide our customers the latest and greatest to make sure they're getting what they need in regards to the reporting elements that they need. As you can see, we're constantly evolving our component capabilities for your reporting needs. As technology grows, we grow with it. At this point, what I'd like to do is just transfer the last portion of this presentation over back to Grégory, who's going to be going over what's new as far as the updates for BI 2025. And with that, Grégory, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, thanks, Michael. Okay, so quickly, BI 4.3 SAP Webi is not the last version we're going to put into your hands. We have a product roadmap available for all our customers using business objects today, and we are ready to continue with us and to continue to invest into SAP business objects. So this being said, what you have on the screen concerns the product duration for SAP business objects, web engines. On the left, we have all the recently delivered functionalities as part of the BI 4.3 Service Pack 3. In the middle, the plan concerns the next Service Pack, the Service Pack 4, which is planned December 2023, so in some months from now. This Service Pack 4 is a continuation of Service Pack 3. For example, we have cumulative enhancement concerning the data mode, where we will propose you additional combine operators. For example, in SP3, we have the left join and the append. We would like to propose you the full outer join, so full left outer join, full right outer join, and the full join, for example. So this will give you additional capabilities. You might have noticed that every time I was combining a cube, the two original cubes were struck through, which means that they were no longer available as part of the list. Within the Service Pack core, you'll have the choice. Either every time you combine a cube, you will be able to reuse it into another combined operation. So this will give you more capabilities, more freedom, I would say, in terms of data preparation in this new data mode. On top of that, you have additional user interface enhancements as part of the self-service BI, some cumulative things, and reporting and visualization. We have some chart improvements, hide column when empty or not, dynamically or not, some intra-document link filters. Intra-document link is the ability to navigate from one report to another report. There is a link that you can create for that. Now the link will support not only the simple input control, but also the complex input controls. So like this, you will be able to transport the filters being applied in the first report to the second report by using this kind of link, intra-document link, etc. Stay tuned. The official wiki and blog will be made available by our product experts. Last but not least, we have the BI 2025, which is planned in December 2024, and this will be the next major release for all of you. So which means that after the BI 4.3, we will have a next major release, which we have already the name, SAP Business Objects BI 2025, planned December 2024. We will come on several tremendous capabilities and new innovations in this area, which are summarized here: visualization and dashboarding, the ability to share an offline Webi document with all the interactivities that you can use like a PDF. So imagine a PDF with all the interactivities, with all the data that you can use, share freely without business objects, outside the business object world. That's what we are planning. And some improvement in the area of report creation and mobile consumption. Thank you for your time. It was quick, but it's okay.
Well, we appreciate your time and participation, Gregory. That was amazing updates. And Jérôme, thank you so much for the presentation of his data into Webi. We have time just for some quick question and answers. We do have a couple that I'd like to be able to get through. So,
oui, remets-nous.
What's that? Oh.
Yes, Mike.
Yes. Hi. We just have a couple of questions that I'd like to be able to get through.
Yes, there are some questions that need answer. So I don't know if Gregory had a time to.
I have. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so we are going to display them. So this one.
Okay. Here we go. Is it still relevant to get BO with tighter interactive with SAC if you today is not a BO customer, if you're not a BO customer today?
That's a good question.
That's a tricky one. Okay.
If I can reply on my side,
ahead,
I would say yes, go.
In fact, the most important is,
tool.
Yes, in fact, the right answer is you have the choice. If you are not a BI customer and you would like to simplify your life, go with SAP Analytics Cloud. This is the SaaS, Software as a Service solution, which is great, right? You have a lot of capabilities in this area. We have one tool which proposes you BI, predictive and planning, right? If you want to, how to say that, to get a more classic BI tool, which is very powerful and still used by many customers across the world, you have business objects, which is available to all of you, right? And you can choose the way you would like to deploy it. You can choose to deploy it on-premise or to go with your favorite hyperscaler, being AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud, to deploy it into the cloud. And you will get all the fantastic capabilities that we show you today.
Thank you, Gregory. Next one, which is quite big.
Okay.
Yes, I saw this question.
Will you review the possibility to preload clusters info into PCs that never started with business object clients before? Usually this involves starting up a first time with a service name, but saving this info into a registered key or config file would make packaging more customer friendly.
Okay, so I'm not sure to understand this question. I really apologize for that. The way I understand it is, could we hide server name, information, registration name for the BI Launchpad when the first user would like to start the very first time with SAP Business Objects? I think there is a solution to achieve that. Everything can be SSO, right? If I remember correctly, this can be set up. And not only the login will be passed through, so the user will not have to be aware of any server name information, even the login password doesn't have to know it. Regarding Web Intelligence, yes, you're right. When you start Web Intelligence from scratch, you have to preload the data, but there is a way to overcome this by using the Webi Data model, where you propose the end user to load the Webi document empty with everything in it. I mean, from the data standpoint.
Thanks, Gregory.
If it was the right question, sorry, I might have.
If it was the right question, but maybe feel free to ask the
more context.
Support. Yes. Another one. Does the data mode replace multi-source universe?
Yes and no. We recently delivered an SAP Analytics Statement of Direction, where we are sharing with all of you, with the market, what's going to happen in the coming years regarding SAP Business Objects. And we clarify where we're going to invest. And at the same time that we clearly say that the next minor release is SAP Business Objects BI 2025. This next major release, will focus on the tools and components which are really used by our customers. The tools and components being used are Web Intelligence, the semantic layer, and the relational universe of type Unix, the BI Launchpad and the platform, analysis, and some other tools, two other things, Crystal Report as well. And the last thing I don't remember. But the fact is, like I said, we're going to invest into the relational universe, Unix. It means that at some point of time, we will stop to support the multi-source universe. So that's what we said in this document. The multi-source universes will stop with the end of the BI 4.3, which is planned December 2027. Until this date, these tools remain available to all of you. But with the BI 2025, the multi-source Unix type universes will not be part of this release. It means that if you want an alternative, the data mode is what you are proposing. Otherwise, it means that the multi-source, the combination of different type of data sources, you will have to do it not in this kind of tool, but into the database, which support this kind of capability, and they all today support this kind of capability.
Thanks again, Gregory. Another question. You have a lot of work for the end of day in Paris.
Ken.
Will there be more advanced formulas that will be possible in data mode in future version? Yes. This is not confirmed, but we are working on it. This is not confirmed. As part of the next Service Pack 4 for BI 4.3, so the one planned December this year, as part of the data mode, we will introduce you the possibility to create variable by using the formula language directly in the data mode, first thing. Second thing, yes, you're right. There is more transformation in one click that you can think of. If I'm right, it did not make it for the Service Pack 4, but that's a very good idea for additional enhancement in this area in the future. Thank you.
Okay. There is this one maybe.
Can SSA use the Webi Data Mode? Yes, I didn't test it, but since the release of the BI 4.3, SSA can access and view and consume what you name the Webi Data Model, which is composed of the list of objects available in Web Intelligence. So if you go with the BI 4.3 Service Pack 3 and you create a final cube, which is a result of multiple combinations and transformation, and which is a final cube available in Web Intelligence, I would assume that SSE will only see this final cube when SSE will try to connect and consume this kind of Web Intelligence document.
So we have one Pablo. This one is for us, and it was replied in the chat. So the response is the corresponding input control can be used and filtered. So it's yes, the reply for that. Another one that is on it for this is possible to add notation to the chart. Also those. So is it possible to add comment to the chart? We have an option in which we can add some description for the chart. It's not comments, but we can add notation in a dedicated box to give information to the user.
Otherwise, I would like to add that Web Intelligence support commentary capabilities, so which means that you can comment a specific data point in a table, a specific data point is in a chart, not a chart, the entire widget, and there is a frame left panel on the right where you can have a conversation within a colleague on a specific data point being commented.
Okay, and for the other part of the question, does NIT4V support IBSC standard? The reply, we will get back to you, and we will reply in the chat. Another one, is the interaction possible in Miro? I don't know what is Miro on Miro. And on a SharePoint site, yes, it's possible to export the N4V component to SharePoint. And if Miro is a container that is able to read some HTML content, then it should work also. Okay. Another one. 3D mappings or tools can be used at future. So maybe that you need more information, Grégory, or maybe that you have the reply, I don't know.
Depends, this is also for you, right? And maybe you would like to integrate 3D mappings. That's the answer.
Yes,
is,
that's maybe for, so on the Webi side, I don't think it is in the plans. On
just
our
propose
side,
a framework.
yes,
Which is we propose a visual framework. So if this kind of 3D mapping can support the integration framework, which is the visualization framework available by Webi, yes, you can use the kind of things within Web Intelligence, like NIT4V is doing today.
Yes, that's it. So we don't have yet 3D mapping. Now, if you have a use case or if you want to get more information about that, feel free to contact us on our website or contact at need4vis.com, and we will be glad to reply that question more precisely. Maybe another one. It's quite the same that the previous one. How will BO be positioned considering SAC and SAP DataSphere? So it's the N4V excellent visualization, of course. Thanks, Magnus. And
the same questions, the choice, depending if you want to a SaaS software or an on-premise software.
Okay, I think that's a really good reply. And I think we're done. So we are 15 minutes ahead of the original schedule. Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot, Grégory, to be with us today. Thanks, Mike, for the presentation, and thanks to all the attendees that were with us for this session this morning or this afternoon.
Yes.
We wish you a pleasant day, and hope to speak with you
shortly.
Yes,
please, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at sales@need4vis.com. We'll be glad to answer any questions, be able to have follow-up demos, whatever you need, we'll be happy to assist. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you. Bye.